Hello and welcome, friends, to Healing Yoga. If you're just signing on or signing on later, could you please leave just a little comment like, hi, I'm here, or just comment a little bit about the class, what it may do for you, anything like that. Just want to acknowledge the people that we're getting to, how we're spreading this, and would appreciate just a little, hey, I joined today and enjoyed it, or maybe I didn't enjoy it. Whatever your comments, they'd be greatly appreciated. So we'll just start in our typical fashion here. We're seated on a chair or on your mat, connecting with our breath, drawing that in through the nose as we extend our collarbones long each way. Exhaling out the mouth. Just working towards centering our bodies, bringing together that body, mind, and breath connection. As you breathe, you may turn to one side and inhale, and slowly turn to the other side to fully exhale. Again, turn, inhale this time, maybe drawing the arms up halfway. Inhale, lifting the arms, exhale. Couple more. Inhale and exhale. Just drawing the arms up to wherever it's comfortable for you. That may mean right there at the elbow crease, or maybe just rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. Doing what you can just for today. One more big breath in and exhale. Draw the hands to heart center. Resting arms along our sides. Preparing for our wake up. Remember, the wake up has two different aspects, if you will, to it. You've got the four thumps and then the cross crawl, zip up, and hook up to finish. So we'll begin finding our collarbones, moving down an inch. The breath is in the nose and out the mouth. Massaging, tapping, or thumping. If that is unavailable for you, you can also tap in the field, meaning your energy is still out here, and if you're closer in, you're going to affect that field. Breathing in through the nose, out the mouth. Maybe you're massaging that today versus tapping or thumping. You can also use that thread movement in the field. So this is turning on the entire meridian system, getting the energy moving forward. One of the directions energy wants and needs to move. Shake that off. Going to our thymus now. Right there at the sternum. It's like a shot of vitamin C, bringing in those T cells to help ward off any disease. If you feel like you're coming down with a cold or any other ailment, begin tapping here. You might just head it off at the pass. Shake that off. Side seams, just along the sides of the breast and the rib cage, right there at the bottom. Spleen points, metabolizing and digesting our food, our thoughts, any experiences. Very important points to massage and get that excess lymph moving, any stuck energy, getting that moving so it can go into our venous supply for elimination, letting go. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth, shake that off. Come to your cheekbones, press in. Associated with our earth element, which is the time we are in right now in our traditional Chinese medicine. We're tapping here at the beginning point of the stomach meridian, which is also governed by the earth element and associated with grounding. Getting out barefoot on the earth, earthing, grounding. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, integrate these 4 thumps. You can also take that stainless steel spoon, it has to have magnetic properties, and rub the bottoms of your feet. And that's another way of grounding. Deep breaths. One more time. Now begin our homolateral or 2-sided march, if you will. Dust that off to pause the energy and cross that over. Now, if we become very tired, our energies separate and go to that homolateral or 2-sided, or 1-sided each. And so we're operating at about 50%. If you take the body and split it in half, it becomes 2-sided. So literally, by taking the energy with our hands, the electromagnetic properties that cross them over, we are thereby training our bodies to keep that crossover movement. This is another technique from one shoulder to the opposite hip. Many times I will do this after I've driven somewhere and I'm getting out of the car. Shake that off. You'll do that about 12 times each, and then set our intention. Anything you want, you can zip that up and sweep it out. This is the zip up, keeping out negative energies entering into our field, sealing our own space, protecting our own energies. And lastly, we have our hookup, aura cleansing. Remember, the aura is our layers of energy that are invisible to many people, but they are energies nonetheless, and they make up physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and a few other properties of our entire field or aura. So as we sit here and continue to breathe, you may change that up a little bit to in the nose and out the nose, or stay with that in the nose and out the mouth. That helps release any pent-up anxiety. Now, breathing in through the mouth can incite anxiety, so don't recommend doing that. You can also just take in that ujjayi breath, which is our ocean breath, as you draw in through the nose and you exhale out the nose. It's as if you're blowing out into a mirror or fogging a mirror through your breath, but the out breath is through the nose. So rolling the shoulders as we connect with our breath, whatever that may be for you. Let's reach the arms up halfway, maybe fully overhead. Gently twist, turn to the side. Inhale back to center and to the other side. Inhale, center. Side one. Center. And side two. Inhaling up. Let's gather the hands together and bring them to heart center. And then take them to our side. I'm going to stand for the next few, but you are absolutely welcome to sit and do these next techniques. So, heaven connecting earth. This just helps clear up any stuck energies within our bodies. So you can soften the knees here or be seated as you draw the hands up, or you can just stand tall. Breathe and slide the hands up the front of the body. Bring the hands to heart center. I like to sit back into that chair a little bit. Gives me a little bit of movement and static hold. And then reach up, heaven, reaching earth. Hands to heart center. As you sit the bum back, the knees can bend. You just don't come past the toes. As we reach, we're creating space for new energy to flow through our joints. And one last time. Bringing the hands to heart center. Reaching up and overhead. Open the arms, draw belly button in and up as we lift our heart center to heaven, rushing in. Breathe and drink in that all she has to offer as we weave the arms slowly into a forward fold. Again, this can be done on the chair as we come forward. We'll weave the arms up. Remember, weaving helps clear our energetic spacesuit, our aura. You've been hearing me talk about this a lot. So clearing the air, if you will. Just moving to the side. And then we'll take that down the other side, breathing all the while. And then sweep the hands down, behind the back. Okay, right behind the belly button. So just finding your belly button and come to that spot on the back side that's directly behind there. Hand over hand. This is called the Ming Men point. It is associated with our ancient kidney energy and hormonal balance. So rubbing that a few directions one way and then the other. It's to help balance hormones, particularly in men. And then we'll sweep the hands forward, backs of the hands, palms. Remember, they have positive and negative properties. Negative is not a bad thing here. It's just the opposite of the positive. The charge, the electromagnetic. And we bring the hands, slide them up, cup them over the mouth, maybe sit back in that chair. 3 audible releasing that out, any anxiety, Place the hands, crossing wrists over our heart center. Feel anger, any frustration going on in your life. You want to be able to assertively move through that confidently. Let's do the expelling the venom. So from our standing position or our seated on the chair, think of this below your carpet, the earth, whatever is below your surface. Think about that being a garden of weeds that we are weeding out. We're pulling out all those weeds, picking them up, inhaling, and the sound is shh, S-H-H-H-H-H. Shh. We're expelling that, ridding ourselves of it, expelling the venom. Dig it up. Dig it all up. Inhale. Shh. Shake it off. One more time, really going for that deep tap root. Get it all. Pull it up. Inhale. Slowly release. Shh. Slowly and intentionally. Weave your way up or trace spleen meridian inside, arch side of big toe, or along the arch. Insides of the legs, come wider at the hips, up towards shoulders, and back down to those spleen points. From there, we're going to go to bringing down the flame, reducing down any anxiety, helping to release that, and creating space for joy and inspiration to flow within our realms. So as we stand tall, breathing, the breath is HA. So we'll draw in through the nose, bring the fingertips and thumbs together as we exhale, tap the thumbs down. Inhale, sweep the hands round, thumbs between the brows. Inhale, sweep the thumbs and fingers around. Fingers rest in that little hollow notch, well of the throat. Sweep around, thumbs just above the belly button. Now we're seating the fire in the belly where it needs to be seated. One more HA breath. Sweep hands outside of the legs, off the pinky toe. Shake it off. Trace spleen meridian. Come up behind the ankle bone, insides of the legs. A little wider at the torso, along the sides, up to shoulder and back down to spleen points. By tracing the spleen meridian, it helps to keep the energy of that organ humming along as the spleen is always working, and sometimes our fight, flight, freeze meridian or system, triple warmer, steals from the spleen meridian. In fact, it does that a lot. So we want to keep that balance and trace our spleen meridian. So we're going to move forward to the cradle the baby. So we're just with the fire element. We started out with the wood element, and I didn't say this before, just too much confusing information. We're just moving energetically. So since we're in the earth time, right before the equinox coming up here, breathing in the nose, and if available, out the nose in that Ujjayi breath. Bringing the hands right to the forehead, thumbs just between the brows. Find that breath. Cradle the baby, holding on, one hand here, the other hand here. These are spleen points. So we're just cradling, breathing, maybe just gazing downward. And then reach, pull down from the heavenlies anything you may need, drawing it down, bringing it into the hands, and placing the thumbs once again in between the brows. Let the thumbs trace over your eyebrows. Fingers curl across the forehead, smooth behind the ears, down along the sides of the neck. Maybe hang off the shoulders for a moment. Deep breath, slide down the front of the body, off the toes. Now you can sit and bring the hands beneath the toes, or if that's unavailable, maybe take one side and kind of pulse. This is a spleen point right along here. And if available, we can do this under both toes. And depending on your flexibility today, you may be here, breathing. Kind of sit in that chair and then lift the bum up. Once again, tracing that spleen meridian, or simply weaving the arms up. Cradling the baby, earth element associated with equinoxes and solstices. Next up, autumn, the element of metal, the grief that we feel in the changing of the seasons and what's to come. So we think about our grief and letting go of our grief. Think about the leaves as they fall off the trees. And that last leaf, it's just finally letting go. Kind of surrendering to what is the next season. Of course, winter after that. And so it goes through the 5 elements. So we are in the last one, which is autumn. And this is called, forgetting what I'm doing here. So the sound is S, and it's human touching divine. So we're thinking about whatever grief we may have in our lives, how we can channel that out into acceptance. So we begin standing tall with our arms out, palms open, lift through the heart center, breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale that snake sound, you're going to bring your hands around, gathering all that you love into this incomplete circle. The fingers don't touch. Think of all that we love and care about. Open that up a little bigger to include your city, your state, your country, all those things that we love and care about. We're drawing in. And then as we inhale once again, we draw that up, bringing that all in. We have to release it to something, someone, something bigger, divine, human touching divine. So as we, to release this to God, we bring the fingers together, hand over hand, crossing the wrists at our chest. human touching divine. As we place our hands here, we're just taking a couple more out breaths. That's shaking that out. And then the beginning, and we didn't start at the beginning because everything begins and ends in water. I started in the element of wood in spring today. The element of water, and that is the small, like the fetal position, the squat pose, or the passive squat pose, which is lying on your back and bring your knees into your chest. We can also do it from this chair, which we will today. And this is blowing out the candle for the season of winter, water, and the sound is like the wind blowing, not like the whoo of the owl, but the W-H-O-O-O. Thinking about having the courage to work through the fear of the unknown, the darkness, things that we can't see. If you're in the dark, you can't see. You just have to have the courage to move through, to find the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to demonstrate this from here, headed in a modified squat pose. Hello, thanks for joining in. I hope you would just leave a little message at the end of this to let me know that you joined today. Thank you. So we're doing the knees to chest, or this modified squat pose here. And this is called blowing out the candle. Inhaling and then exhale. Come back down. Inhale. Exhale, blowing out the candle. W-H-O-O-O. One last time. Inhale. And then slowly coming up. Breathing here. So that was the 5-element flow. Again, I began in wood and went through it, but now I'm going to go through it again a little quicker, starting in water and the season of winter with that squat. Now, if you're on the floor, this is a good way to do this. And this is one of my favorites of doing it. So I'll demonstrate from here, the sound being W-H-O-O-O. Again, you can be in the chair. You can be in your full squat pose if that's available to you. Inhale, exhale, lift up, blowing out the candle. Inhale, exhale, blowing out the fear, finding and seeking courage through the fear of the darkness. One last time. Coming up. And now we're kind of in a high chair. We're moving into the season of spring. What is the element? Anger, frustration are the challenging emotions we have here, moving to assertiveness and confidence. So this is expelling the venom, and the sound is shh. Inhale, digging up any of the weeds you see in that garden around you, pulling it up. Expel, shh. Make sure you're shaking that off. Fingertips have meridians that begin or end, so you're stimulating those. You can also shake off excess energy here. Draw up, dig up, pull up. Inhale. Shh. Expel the venom. One last time, slowly and very intentionally. And again, this can be done from the chair. Pull that, going for that taproot. Pull it up slowly. Maybe tracing spleen meridian here. Moving to that HA, hello and welcome. Glad you could join today. If you could please just leave a little hello and that you joined today after class, would really appreciate that. We're going through the 5-element flow, and we've reached the element of fire, season of summer, and this is bringing down the flame. Working through anxiety, which is our challenging emotion, to create space for inspiration and joy. So as we stand here, inhale. The sound is HA. So we'll bring the fingertips and the thumbs together. Exhale, tap the thumbs on the crown. Inhale, sweep hands around, thumbs between the brows. Big inhale, thumbs and fingertips. Let the fingers find that hollow notch. Shine your heart light. Sweep the hands around. Thumbs just above the belly button. Seat the fire in the belly. One more HA. Sweep off. Pinky toes shake off. Maybe trace spleen or weave your way back up. Moving into the in-between seasons, which is where we are right now. The element of earth, right before the autumn equinox. So we're just placing both of our hands on either of our spleen points as we cradle the baby. Perhaps, if available, changing your breath up to that Ujjayi breath in the nose and out the nose, and kind of back of the throat, epiglottis. Kind of sounds like a echo in the back of your throat, or like you're in a tunnel. Just thinking about the emotions here, and I don't think I mentioned these earlier in this class. Over worry the earth person, the earth mother. Moving from over worry to self-love and self-care. As we reach up and pull down what we need from the heavenlies, continue that breath. Bring that into our hands, thumbs in between the brows. Slide thumbs over brows and fingers gently across forehead, behind the ears, down lightly the sides of the neck. Maybe hang the fingers off of the shoulders. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose if possible. Otherwise, the in the nose, out the nose breath. Or out the mouth breath, excuse me. And then slide the hands down and off the pinky toes. Now here, if available, to stand here, placing the hands beneath the arch side of the big toe. If that's too awkward or unavailable, you can be here, or you could do one foot at a time and just kind of pulse that side, the foot, and the side. Breathing. Again, if this is available, 3 breaths here. And then we're going to trace the spleen meridian once again. wide hand, very easy, very small points. When we have the wide hand, it's sure to cover that. Come back down here and shake it off. Shake up the feet. Now we're standing tall, moving in to autumn. The element of metal, the sound is S, and it's grief is the challenging emotion, moving into letting go and acceptance of what is. Human touching divine is the name of the posture. And so we have our hands out here. We lift through the heart center. As we inhale, we begin to lift the hands. And as we exhale, that letting go breath as we gather all that we love in front of us. To that incomplete circle. Inhale once again, about chest high. Take that little bit bigger back bend as we gather even more. All that we care about, but they're scattered all around the state, the nation, the earth. Gather that all in. Inhale. Release it to divine as we bring the fingertips back together. This time, they come on top of each other. Releasing all that. Shaking that off. Taking a couple breaths. Sometimes just making some of those sounds throughout our day. You may not even know why, but your body knows why. So if you catch yourself making those sounds, pay attention, keep it up. You just may be releasing, creating space for something new and good to take over there. So as we're standing here, we're going to do one more little, well, a couple more actually. This is called the belt flow, and this is the only horizontally moving energy in our bodies. So we're just going to take it right, twist around, just kind of beneath the breast, go all the way, around to your rib cage. Bring it over here, and then come down about midsection across the belly, and then reach back here and over here, and then off the outside of the leg. Shake that off. And then we come to the other side. And this connects the upper and lower chakras. So bringing that energy together. And then sweep it off the other side. Shake it off. Shake out the legs. And then cross one leg over the other. Now I should have done this earlier when I was forgetting my words. This is called the Schoolyard Hookup. There's also the Wayne Cook, and it's very similar. It's just one is seated, one is standing. So the Wayne Cook, I will actually demonstrate this seated one first. So I've got whatever side leg I have crossed here, the opposite hand comes to the ankle. And then the same arm as leg is crossed. Take that hand over the balls of the feet. 3 to 5 deep breaths. Unscrambling the energies. Finding our words. If you're standing in that schoolyard, you got one leg crossed, arms crossed over. Maybe scoop them up or just cross at the wrists. Bring the hands together. Again, 3 to 5 breaths. switch the cross of the legs and the cross of the arms. Same seated. This is great for giving yourselves, providing clarity. And I do try to do this often, and I typically do try to do it before class, which I did not today. And it showed for me. And then take that down. Go ahead and using your own natural breath or just in the nose and out the mouth, placing our hands on our knees. Let's scoop out through the belly and bring the shoulders forward. Seated cat pose. Inhale and take that back bend. Moving through. And back bend. Moving with the breath. One more. And then if you have a strap, a sash or something handy, if not, that's okay too. Just working toward this back scratch test here. So we have one hand behind, and then the other comes on top. One may or may not touch. If you have a strap, place it here and walk one side up toward the other. Never straining, just doing what we can, finding your edge. And if you find your edge and it's too intense, then come out of it a little bit. Find your doable edge. Never pushing to the point where you have pain. Deep breaths here. Think about opening through the shoulder girdle and softening that shoulder blade or scapula back and down into your back pockets. One more deep breath. Now sometimes we can touch both sides, sometimes neither, and sometimes one and not the other. And that's where I am. Had some little shoulder issues, so that's just the way it is. But I work toward it, and that's what we're doing today. So we take the other side, walk the fingers toward each other, up the loop or up the strap, and maybe you easily touch and your fingers can connect here. One thing I will caution against, we don't want to be down like this. We want to be standing tall, lifting through the crown and reaching there. So it is about opening, lengthening, and increasing our flexibility. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Release, roll shoulders. And then on our seat, now you can use your mats for a downward facing dog. I'm going to demonstrate this on the chair where I walk back. And we can have the full hands, splayed fingers, walking back, or the forearms kind of into a dolphin style posture, letting the head just rest in between our biceps here. Really good hamstring stretch. And also a nice stretch across the upper back. Shoulder girdle. Very slowly begin to walk back up. Roll up to standing, roll the shoulders. Either come to sit on your chair or on your mat. Crossing one leg over and flexing through that foot. Sit up tall, hinge forward, and breathe. Little hip opening here. We've done some movement through the legs today and through standing, through our 5-element flow a couple times. Breathing here, just gentle movements today. Being kind to ourselves. One more deep breath. And then we'll switch sides. Again, flexing through this foot. Always protecting the knee. And remember, we don't want to be sickling through the ankle here. In other words, pulling it up. So this foot is in line with the ankle and not curled in so the arch is coming inward. That can overstretch the tendons, which can create some instability in the ankle. So we're hinging forward, breathing. As we come back up, just slowly take that other foot down. Now I have blocks or block we can use. Just going to rest the feet on the block as we sit back in our chair for our final relaxation. You can also take to your mat, the floor, or whatever you may have handy to sit quietly for the next few minutes and just breathe. Think about drawing that air in through the nostrils, running it all through every cell of your body, and then fully exhaling out. Just giving your body this opportunity to integrate your yoga practice today. Bringing your awareness back to your fingers and to your toes. Maybe fluttering your eyelids open. And we'll finish today with our 10-heart meditation. We begin by drawing 3 hearts around the face, breathing and just feeling the hands, the energy of the fingers as it moves around the face. And then 3 hearts around the torso. Lovingly. And then 3 hearts around our entire body and auric space. And then circling or curling the fingers, thumbs down, placing the hands, that heart shape over our heart chakra, heart center. And thank you all for coming to practice with me today. Until we meet again, namaste. And again, a little reminder, if you would, just leave a little quick note saying you attended today. And we appreciate you. Hope all is well. Take care. Thank you.